Now we are going to learn some Bootstrap utilities. So let's learn about float and clear fix. Float an element to the right with the float-right class, or to the left with float-left, and clear floats with the clear fix class. So first I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to clear fix. That means we are clearing floats. Inside that I have taken p element whose class attribute is set to float-left, and the another class is set to float-right. Now let's go to page. So you can see the first is floating to left and the second p is floating to right. We have just added one simple value to the class, so we can achieve this directly, and this is the advantage of Bootstrap. Now let's see about responsive floats. We can float an element to the left or to the right depending on screen width with the responsive float classes. Float hyphen asterisk hyphen left or right. So I have taken one div whose class attribute is set to clear fix. That means we are clearing the float. Inside that I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divs whose class attribute is set to float hyphen sm hyphen right, float hyphen md hyphen right, float hyphen lg hyphen right, float hyphen xl hyphen right, float hyphen none. So first one, float right on small screens or wider. Second one, float right on medium screen or wider. Third, float right on large screen or widers. Fourth, float right on extra large screen or widers. And the fifth will float none. So let's go to Bootstrap page1.php page. Now you can see the responsive floats. So you can see the output for responsive floats. As I am zooming in and zooming out, now I'm making the zoom to 100% again. Now let's go back to the code. Now we are learning about borders. Use the border classes to add or remove borders from an element. So I have taken the span Here is the span styling I have taken. Display is set to inline hyphen block. Width is 70 pixel, height is 70 pixel, margin is 6. Border style is solid, border width is 20. So this style is going to apply to each span present in this code. So I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 span. For the first, I have set class attribute to border. For second, the class attribute is set to border space border hyphen 0. For third span, class attribute is set to border space border hyphen top hyphen 0. For fourth span, the class attribute is set to border space border hyphen right hyphen 0. For fifth, the class attribute is set to border space border hyphen bottom hyphen 0. For sixth span, the class attribute is set to border space border hyphen left hyphen 0. That means for the first span we have border. In second span we don't have border. In third span only top border is missing. In fourth span only right border is missing. And in fifth span only bottom border is missing. And in sixth span only left side border is missing. Now let's go to learn bootstrap page1.php. We can see for the first span the border is present. For second the border is missing. For third top border is missing. For fourth right border is missing. For fifth bottom border is missing. And for sixth left border is missing. Now let's learn about border colors. I have taken span whose class attributes are set to different color as shown in the video. Now let's see the output. So you can see there are different colors for different borders. Now let learn about borders corner rounded. For this I have taken span element whose class attributes are set to rounded, rounded hyphen top, rounded hyphen right, rounded hyphen bottom, rounded hyphen left, rounded hyphen circle, rounded hyphen 0. Now let's say in output. So all the borders are rounded. Here only top is rounded. Here only right is rounded. Here is bottom rounded. Here only left is rounded. This is rounded circle border. There is no round to this border. Now let's learn about horizontal centering. So I have taken one due element whose class attribute is set to mx-auto space bg-warning. Now in output you can see this is horizontally centered. Now let's learn about horizontal width. Set the width of an element with the width hyphen asterisk classes where asterisk can be w-25, w-50, w-75, w-100, mw-100. So I have taken div whose class attributes are set to w-25 space bj-success, That means it will take width of 25%. Then second div class attribute is set to w-50 space bg-success, and it will take width of 50%. Then third div class attribute is set to w-75 space bg-success. It will take width of 75%. Fourth div class attribute is set to w-100 space bg-success. It will take 100% width. And fifth div class attribute is set to mw-100 space bg-success, and it will take maximum width 100%. Now let's go to learn bootstrap page 1.php page. Here you can see the width. This is 25% width, this is 50% width, this is 75% width, this is 100% width, and this is maximum width 100%. Now let's go back to code. Now let's learn about bootstrap spacing. Bootstrap 4 has a wide range of responsive, margin and padding utility classes. They work for all breakpoints. XS less than equal to 576 pixel, SM greater than equal to 576 pixel, MD greater than equal to 768 pixel, LG greater than equal to 992 pixel, or XL greater than equal to 1200 pixel. The classes are used in the format property size hyphen size for access, and property size hyphen breakpoint hyphen size for SM, MD, LG, and XL, where side is one of T sets margin top or padding top, B sets margin bottom or padding bottom, L sets margin left or padding left, R sets margin right or padding right, X sets both padding left and padding right or margin left and margin right, Y sets both padding top and padding bottom or margin top and margin bottom, blank sets a margin or padding on all four sides of the element where size is one of, 0 sets margin or padding to 0, 1 sets margin or padding to 0.25 rem, 2 sets margin or padding to 0.5 rem, 3 sets margin or padding to 1 rem, 4th sets margin or padding to 1.5 rem, 5th sets margin or padding to 3 rem, auto sets margin to auto. So I have taken one div whose class attribute is set to pt-4 space bg-warning, and the text written as I only have a top padding. That means this div will have only top padding. I have taken another div whose class attribute is set to p-5 space bg-success. So this is having padding from all the side. I have taken third div whose class attribute is set to m-5 space pb-5 space bg-info. This will have margin on all sides and a bottom padding. Now let's see in learn bootstrap page 1.php how it's look like. So this is bootstrap spacing. So it's having only top padding. For second div, we have set padding from all sides. For third div, we have margin on all side and a bottom padding. Now let's learn about Bootstrap Shadows. So for this, I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to shadow hyphen none space p hyphen 4 space mb hyphen 4 space bg hyphen light. That means this div will have no shadow. Second div class attribute is set to shadow hyphen sm space p hyphen 4 space mb hyphen 4 space bg hyphen white. That means it will have small shadow. Third div class attribute is set to shadow space p hyphen 4 space mb hyphen 4 space bg hyphen white. That means this will have default shadow. Then last div class attribute is set to shadow hyphen lg space p hyphen 4 space mb hyphen 4 space bg hyphen white. So this will has last shadow. Now let's go to learn bootstrap page 1.php and see the shadow effect. So here is no shadow, here is small shadow, here is a default shadow, and this is the last shadow. Now we are going to learn about vertical align in bootstrap. So for this I have taken the span element. So first span class attribute is set to align hyphen baseline. So this will be aligned at baseline. Then span 2 class attribute is set to align hyphen top. This will be aligned to top. Then third span class attribute is set to align hyphen middle. This will be aligned to middle. Then span class attribute is set to align hyphen bottom. This will be aligned to bottom. Then span class attribute is set to align hyphen text hyphen top. So the text will be aligned at the top. Then the last span class attribute is set to align space text hyphen bottom, and the text will be aligned to bottom. Now let's say in the page. So this is baseline, this has been aligned to top, this is aligned to middle, this is aligned to bottom, this text is aligned to top, this text is aligned to bottom. Now let's learn about responsive embeds of Bootstrap. For this I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to embed hyphen responsive space embed hyphen responsive hyphen 1 by 1. So this will show the aspect ratio of 1:1. Inside this I have taken iframe tag whose class attribute is set to embed hyphen responsive hyphen item, and src attribute is set to my YouTube channel video. For aspect ratio 4:3, I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to embed hyphen responsive space embed hyphen responsive hyphen 4 by 3. Now for aspect ratio 16:9, I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to embed hyphen responsive space embed hyphen responsive hyphen 16 by 9. And for aspect ratio 21:9, I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to embed hyphen responsive space embed hyphen responsive hyphen 21 by 9. Now let's go to learn bootstrap page 1.php and see the effect of this responsive embeds. This is aspect ratio 1:1, and this is my TechInfoBoost video. This is aspect ratio 4:3. If I make changes in resolution, You can see the effect of responsive embed. This is aspect ratio 16:9, and finally this aspect ratio 21:9. Now we are going to learn about visibility. For this, I have taken one div whose class attribute is set to visible space bg hyphen success. So this div will be visible. And I've taken another div whose class attribute is set to invisible space bg hyphen danger. This won't be visible. Now let's go back to learn bootstrap page1.php. Now you can see the effect. The first div is visible and second is not, because this. Now I'm making this invisible to visible. Now save the changes and go back to page and refresh it. Now you can see that this not visible is also visible because we have made this change in the code. Visible space bg hyphen danger. Now let's learn about close icon. For this I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to clear fix. That means it will go into clear floats. Inside this I have taken button element whose type attribute is set to button and class attribute is set to close. Now let's go to learn bootstrap page1.php page and see the close icon button. Now we are going to learn about bootstrap flex component. We are going to use flex classes to control the layout of bootstrap 4 components. Flexbox is not supported in IE9 and earlier versions. The biggest difference between Bootstrap 3 and Bootstrap 4 is that Bootstrap 4 now uses Flexbox instead of floats to handle the layout. The flexible blocks layout model makes it easier to design flexible responsive layout structure without using floats or positioning. So for this I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to d hyphen flex space p hyphen 3 space bg hyphen secondary space text hyphen white. Okay, p means padding, we know that now. Inside this I have taken three divs whose class attributes are set to p-2 space bg-info. This is flex item 1. Then second div class attribute is set to p-2 space bg-warning. This is flex item 2. Then third div class attribute is set to p-2 space bg-primary, and this is our flex item 3. So inside this d-flex I have taken 3 items. Okay, now you can see in this page. Use the d hyphen inline hyphen flex class. So I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to d hyphen inline hyphen flex space p hyphen 3 space bg hyphen secondary space text hyphen void. So you can see our inline flex. That means there is no extra space. You can see the flex around the flex items. This is because of padding that we have given. Now let's learn about flex row. So for this I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to d hyphen flex space flex hyphen row space pg hyphen secondary. Now let's go to learn bootstrap page one.php page. You can see this is flex row. If you want to make this flex item reverse, you have to set only div class attribute to d hyphen flex space flex hyphen row hyphen reverse space bg hyphen secondary. Now let's learn about flex column. The div class attribute is set to flex hyphen column. Now in the page you can see this is a vertical direction. If you want to make this flex item reverse, you have to make change only flex hyphen column hyphen reverse. Now let's see justify content inside dflex. So I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to d hyphen flex space justify hyphen content hyphen start space bg hyphen secondary space mb hyphen 3. Now let's go to page. So you can see this justify content. This is flex item 1, flex item 2, and this is flex item 3. I have make only change justify hyphen content hyphen end. So all the flex items are shifted to end. So here is change only justify hyphen content hyphen center. So all the flex items are in the center. Now the change is only justify hyphen content hyphen between. Remaining is the same. Flex items are justify content in between. Now I have made change as justify hyphen content hyphen around. So the flex items are justify content around. Now I'm going to add heading for each justify content. So I have taken the h1 tag. Inside that I am writing the text justify hyphen content hyphen start, so that we can easily recognize different type of justify content for bootstrap flex. Same I'm doing for remaining also. Now save the changes and go back to learn bootstrap page one.php page. Refresh it. Now you can clearly see that justify content start. Oh, let's make a small change. I just miss one T over here. Again save the changes and go back to page and refresh it. Now you can see that the flex items are justify start. Here the flex item are justify end. Here flex item are justify as center. Here flex items are justify between, and here flex items are justify content around. Now let's go to code again. Now we are going to learn about flex item field. So I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to d-flex. That means I have created a flex. Inside that I have taken a 3 div whose class attribute is set to flex-field. Same I have done for item 1, item 2 and item 3 of flex. Now let's go to output. Here you can see the item has been filled, or we can say equal width. So we are going to learn grow. I have taken a flex. Inside that I have taken 3 divs as flex item 1, flex item 2 and flex item 3. Class attribute is set to flex-grow-1. So you can see that flex item 3 has been grown. The other are same. Now we are going to learn about order flex item. So I have taken a flex. Inside that I have taken 3 div flex item 1, flex item 2, flex item 3. For each div I have added order-1, order-2, order-3. So we set the order as flex item 3 will be first, then flex item 2 will be second, then flex item 1 will be last one. So we can see the output same. Now again we have taken one flex. Inside that we have taken 3 items, flex item 1, flex item 2 and flex item 3. First flex item is set to mr-auto. That means right margin will be automatic. So you can see here the right margin is automatic, and flex 2 and flex 3 has been shifted to right side. Now for this flex item 3 is set to ml-auto. That means left margin is automatic. So flex 1 and flex 2 item has been shifted to left side. Now let's learn about auto margin in flex. So flex item 1 is set to mr-auto. Now let's add a break in between these two div. Now save the changes and go back to the page and refresh it. Now let's go back to auto margin and set flex item 1 to mr-auto. Now you can see there is a right margin set to auto. Flex item 3 is set to ml-auto. You can see flex item 3 is set to left margin automatic. Go back to code. Now we are going to see flex wrap. So I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to d-flex space flex-wrap space bg-light. And inside this div I have taken 25 flex item divs. So now let's see in the page. So you can see this 25 flex item has been wrapped. Now let's go back to code. Now we are going to learn align content in Bootstrap. So I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to t-flex space flex hyphen wrap space align hyphen content hyphen start space bg hyphen light. Inside this div, I have again taken 25 flex items as shown in the video. So important property to be noted here is align hyphen content hyphen start. Then I have made changes as shown in the video for remaining div. So now in the learn bootstrap page 1.php page, we can see these flex items are aligned at start. These flex items are aligned at end. These flex items are aligned at center. These flex items are aligned around. These flex items are stretch. Now we are going to learn about align items for flex. So I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to d-flex space align hyphen items hyphen start, and I have taken three flex item inside this. I have taken another div and set the class attribute to align hyphen items hyphen end, then align hyphen items hyphen center, then align hyphen items hyphen baseline, then align hyphen items hyphen stretch. Now let's go to output and see the result. Here the items are aligned at start. Here items are aligned at end. Here items are aligned at center. Here items are aligned at baseline. Here items are aligned stretch. Now let's go back to the code and learn about align self. So for this I have taken a div whose class attribute is set to d-flex space bg-light. Inside this I have taken three flex item. Flex item 2 is set to align hyphen self hyphen start. Then flex item 2 is set to align hyphen self hyphen end. Then flex item 2 is set to align hyphen self hyphen center. Then flex item 2 is set to align hyphen self hyphen baseline. Finally, flex item 2 is set to align hyphen self hyphen stretch. Note that height is set to 150 pixels. Now let's go to page again. Here flex item 2 is set to self align start. Here flex item 2 is set to self align end. Here flex item 2 is set to self align center, so it is in center. Here flex item 2 is set to self align baseline. Here flex item 2 is set to self align stretch. Thanks for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel so that you get a notification for my new videos.